case you had any remaining doubt that the coronavirus restriction regime you're suffering under is an utter scam designed to punish and control you, and you probably don't doubt it, but in case you do, we have the video to prove that it is. We showed it to you last night. One of the chief enforcers of the COVID restrictions, a politician and vineyard owner from California called Nancy Pelosi, caught on a security camera violating her own rules, sneaking into a hair salon in San Francisco to prepare for an MSNBC hit, a salon that her party forcibly closed to mere civilians for, quote, public health reasons. Pelosi is 80 years old, at mortal risk of death from coronavirus, they tell us, but she is not wearing a mask. It turns out that everything Pelosi demands you not do, she is doing herself, and she seems very happy doing it. It's hard to remember the last time a public official was caught on video with her hypocrisy showing the way Pelosi just was. Infuriating doesn't begin to describe the experience of watching that video. Oh, but there's an explanation, ladies and gentlemen. There always is. Watch Nancy Pelosi tell you what really happened.
I've been there over the years. I've been there many times. I appreciate the question. And let me just say this. I take responsibility for trusting the word of the neighborhood salon that I've been to over the years many times. And that when they said...
Hold on. Let me backpedal.
...accommodate people one person at a time.
Wait for it.
And that we can set up that time. I trusted that.
Wait for it.
It was a setup.
Bingo.
So I take responsibility for falling for a setup. And that's all I say on that.
The victim. Oh, the
Nancy
victim.
Pelosi wants to know she appreciates the question and that she takes responsibility for being set up and trusting someone who lied to her. In other words, she takes no responsibility at all. None. It's the salon's fault. Nancy Pelosi is the victim here. Well, if you live in Nancy Pelosi's neighborhood or a neighborhood like
As it always is, when you're a Democrat, you're always the victim. Always the victim.
Where's my bracelet, Carmela? You stole it. You could just hear Nancy Pelosi screaming that at her housekeeper as the bracelet she can't find dangles from her wrist.
Take it from Karen.
For how liberals see our country. This is how they explain their mismanagement. They attack the people below them. Michelle Obama scolds America for racism and inequality from her $12 million estate on Martha's Vineyard. Joe Biden blames America's problems on beat cops, working-class guys who make $50 grand a year to risk their lives protecting us from criminals. The cops did it, Biden yelps. It's their fault. At the same time, you'll notice that Biden always gives a pass to the people who cause the problems we hire cops to clean up. The real problems, like unemployment and drug addiction and disintegrating families. Biden never mentions the people who caused those problems, his friends at Google, his donors in private equity, his allies in the Chinese government. Biden never blames them. Biden never takes on the powerful. No one on the left ever does. They think Jeff Bezos is a hero because he's rich. They sniff his throne like beagles. Instead, their target is always the dying American.
I would have said more like sniff his ass, but it's just me.
And humiliate at every turn. This is a revolution, have no doubt, staged for the benefit and amusement of our ruling class, maybe the first of its kind in history. Nancy Pelosi, of course, is one of the leaders of that revolution. She doesn't have to explain why she does things. Today she announced she would not explain. She did not tell us exactly how she was trapped by the hair salon. Her assistant set up her appointment by text message. You can see the text for yourself on the Fox News website right now. And what about her all-important COVID protection mask? Did the hairstylist tear that off Nancy Pelosi's face in some kind of vicious assault? Pelosi didn't say. Instead, she used a phrase familiar to anyone who's been around politics for a while. It was a setup, she claimed. Oh, a setup. Sounds like something they would have said in the mafia-controlled Baltimore of Pelosi's youth, the city her father ran. And they probably did say that. Democrats have used that phrase for a long time. They still do. A setup. That's Hillary Clinton's explanation for how she lost the 2016 election. And most famously, of course, that's what Pelosi's
Not that Hillary was a clown and that she was hated by all.
Busted him for smoking crack with his girlfriend.
Oh, Marianne Barry.
Okay, I understand. Pay attention to what I'm telling you. Listen to your right.
Yes, it was a setup as I sit here and snort cocaine.
That's what Barry said. That's what Pelosi's saying. That's That's what they always say because their reaction never changes. My mistress gave me the crack pipe. Mary Jo Kopechne should have learned to swim.
Ooh.
The hairstylist forced me to violate the same restrictions I forced on you. It's her fault. You've heard it all before. You will hear it again.
Tucker's in rare form tonight.
Liberals blame the girl. That's who they are. Tonight we want to introduce you to the woman Nancy Pelosi is blaming. Erica Kayas owns the now famous salon in San Francisco, and she joins us tonight. Erica, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Nancy Pelosi claims on camera that you orchestrated a, quote, setup to entrap her into getting her hair blown out without a mask. Did you?
No, absolutely not.
How would you have done that? I mean, can you prove that this wasn't a diabolical setup designed to bring down the Speaker of the House by blow-drying her hair?
She had called the stylist or her assistant did and made the appointment. So
yes.
The appointment was already booked. So there's no way I could have set that up. And I've had a camera system in there for 5 years. I mean, I didn't go in there and turn cameras on as soon as she walked in to set her up. So that's
And
absolutely
yet
false.
Nancy Pelosi
So
says,
Pelosi
I've been
that
going there
salons
for
in San Francisco,
years.
Of course, she lives there and she is the
Quote,
most powerful Democratic legislator
end
in the
quote.
world. But she says she understood that the restrictions allowed a one-on-one appointment in salons. What do you make of that?
I heard that and I thought to myself, well, as a hairstylist, I see clients one-on-one. So that would mean I would be open, right?
Yes, yeah. Bart, try to laugh. Yes, that it would mean that. Are you open?
No.
What is that doing to you in your business?
For the past 6 months, we're pretty much done. I mean, we've lost at least 60% of our clients. I've lost the majority of my staff. So, 6 months is a long time to be closed down.
Yeah, no, it's too long.
What's good for
So your
me
business has been
is
destroyed
not
by this.
good for thee.
How do you feel about seeing the most powerful
Just
woman
like
in
Mayor
America
Lightweight,
come into your salon in
the
violation of
clown
what she
in
supports,
Chicago.
get caught and then blame you for it?
She got her hair
To be
done,
honest, it was more.
but screw everyone else.
She's been coming in for quite a while, and just to see her come in, and especially not wearing the mask, that's what really got to me. But
Yeah.
this isn't even political. I mean, she's been coming in there. It's the fact that she actually came in and didn't have a mask on, and I just thought about my staff and people not being able to work and make money and provide for their families, and if she's in there comfortably without a mask and feeling safe, then why are we shut down? Why am I not able to have clients come in?
Common sense.
So it's been hard.
You're not making a political point.
But in
you're
2020,
making a point rooted in common
yeah,
sense.
that's
And
not
what do you
allowed.
think? I don't know what the answer is. What do you think the answer is? Why can't, if Nancy Pelosi feels comfortable using your salon, why can't civilians use it?
Exactly. And I'll be honest, in our area in San Francisco, I mean, we're obviously the last county or city to not open. We've been trying to figure that out. We've been asking ourselves these questions for 6 months, for the past actually 4 months, of why we are not reopened. And it's kind of a good question. We, again, don't know.
Huh. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay in the city, do you think, in San Francisco?
I don't think so. The hard part of all this is that I have been in that community for 12 years. And since this happened,
That was my cat.
I have received nothing but hate, text messages, death threats. They're going to burn my hair salon down. My Yelp page is just unbelievable.
So they're coming after her for her doing her job,
It's just,
but because it's
sad that my
Bella
community,
Lugosi Pelosi, or
is
more lovingly, or as more lovingly known as Skeletor.
So that's hurtful, but
So they're coming after her because, of course, Pelosi's the
I
victim.
think that's one of the most heartbreaking stories I've heard in a long
And this
time,
woman
a long time.
is
And I
evil.
just want to restate for the people who are
What a
hating
clown
you
show.
for telling
What
the
an
truth.
effing
I
clown
don't
show.
consider this political. You don't seem like a political person. And I'm just sorry this is happening to you. Erica, thank you for coming
Yeah.
on tonight.
Thank you.
Well, some potential good news.